the coolant level for the intercooler. I haven't been able to understand why this keeps dropping. Moment of truth. Yep, it's leaking again. Alright, well, not the greatest news. We got a misfire the other day on our truck when I was up on a trail, and it was a PO301. I'm not sure what's going on, hoping it's not more of our previous problem, which was the supercharger intercooler leaking into our intake there. So what I'm going to do is pop the hood up. I'm going to pull out plug 1, cylinder 1 there. We'll have a look at the plug, see if it is exhibiting signs of coolant entering into the combustion chamber, and then I'll scope it out quick. We'll take a peek inside there, see what's going on. Hopefully just a bad ignition coil. We'll be able to find out because we know what the coolant looks like when it's inside there. The way that these engines are mapped out for the cylinders is 1, 3, 5, and then of course on driver's side 2, 4, 6. The best way to get these, if you've never done it before, or if it's a little bit stuck and dirty like ours is to push in while you're grabbing this little piece right here. There we go. Get a 10mm on there. This guy out here. Give it a little twist, help it break free. Maybe a possible oil leak. So I don't see anything pulled up down inside there. Oil looks good. And then I just have a spark plug socket which has a rubber protector boot inside there. Have it taped up here because you don't want to lose a socket down inside that plug well here. Now we'll just go crack it free. Okay. So this honestly does not look horrible at all. So next up, we'll grab our scope, take a peek inside, see what's going on. So a little grime there, but if we had like a leak or something that was around the for the oil leaks, we would probably see a pool of oil here. So besides the grime, that's not looking too horrible. All right. Try not to have a leak, but let's get down here a little bit closer. And then we have coolant entering in. We'll just crack it and take a peek inside there, and then we'll see if we have any coolant pooling up inside here. We can tell pretty much right away. Then we're going to disassemble the whole thing and clean everything out again. Diagnosing came back to our supplier. They said that they will be sending a new lid. We should be expecting that in a few days here, thankfully. So thank you to our FIGS engineering rep and to our Magnuson rep too that helped support that. I was hoping I could just clean the topmost section of the actual supercharger itself, but there's so much that got down into the cylinders. Yeah, we're gonna have to take this whole thing off again, and the intermediate intake, plunge them down there too, and go all the way back down to the cylinders. We're gonna have to clean off our fuel injectors too. But yeah, we're gonna have to redo all of this all over again for the 3rd time. I'm gonna hop to this and start taking this all apart. The valves do not look great. I'm really hoping we can get this cleaned up, but before we do that, let's have a look inside there and see how bad this actually is. Okay, so that's one of the intake valves. There's our fuel injector right up there in the top left. Cylinder 3 definitely has carbon buildup in there and probably dry coolant too, but the injector looks a lot better. Okay, cylinder 5 looking okay. Cylinder 6. Okay, cylinder 6 right there too. Cylinder 4. And cylinder 2, carbon buildup. Flip. Alright, we're going to take apart the fuel rail and the intermediate intake plenum there. Just went to the ground. So there we have our main cylinder 1, cylinder 3, not so much, 5, cylinder 6 there too, cylinder 4. So we'll get some cleaner and we'll go through and just kind of get the chunks out of there, vacuum them out. So we got this new lid, just came in. I am ultra curious about what exactly was leaking on that other one, and we'll get a chance to maybe to have a look inside there and see what's going on. But here's the new one, nice and shiny and clean. Diagnosing gave us a new bypass valve system here. So this closes when we are in boost, you'll say. Opens up typically when you're at closed to low throttle. Transfer over the intercooler, the actual intercooler that fits right here in these two fittings. Alright, so we're going to take apart this bolt right here. And this bolt actually is what holds this intercooler onto there. And while we're looking inside here, this is what leaking coolant looks like inside of a supercharger case. There we go. And there's the inside of the lid carnage right there. Let me know in the comments if you know how the coolant is getting from there to where we saw through right here. I have zero idea at this point. Gonna put this guy back on right here on the end. Nice new lid. And what this will do is it'll fit right inside this right there. This side is where those O-rings are. Start working on getting our intermediate plumbing back on there. And then what we'll do is we'll get the injectors dropped in, get those greased up, put the fuel rail back down, and we'll keep our fuel pump relay system fuse pulled there. Just for now, because what I'm going to do, because I'm assuming we have fluid inside there that doesn't compress, is we'll pull the spark plugs out, turn it over, just blow out that fluid quick, put them back in, and we'll get this thing started up. Next up is just getting these all lined up. You look good. So we're just watching from there. Might see some fluid come out. camera died halfway through there, but got both of our hoses back on. We have our boost line right there back on. Intake's back, or intake tubing is back on here. Vacuum line's connected. We're getting this topped up. All the fuses are back in. Now we just need to cycle to accessory on there so that we can get fuel primed and so we can get fluid circulating through here, circulating through there to the intercooler, and then making sure that this doesn't go low. And fingers crossed. Here we go. So I really appreciate y'all hanging around. If you like what you see here, make sure you like and subscribe this video. It really helps out our channel. We're really small. We're brand new to this, and happy to share it with you all. So thanks for being here. We'll see you on the trails. We'll see you in the next video.